You ever have one of those nights where you walk into a room and you just know tonight everything's going to change? Yeah, that was my prom night. And let me tell you, if you told me how it would go down, I'd have laughed right in your face. I thought I'd just coast under the radar, dance a little, dodge the slow songs, maybe spill punch on my dress if I got unlucky. Instead, I became a girl everybody was talking about, but not for the reasons you'd expect. It started off as normal as senior prom ever gets in a tiny Oregon town like Willowbrook. Maplewood High had done up the gym with every dollar the PDA could scrape together. Fairy lights tangled across the ceiling, a sea of silver balloons floating just above everyone's heads. The air was thick with too much cologne, a weird mix of nerves and teenage hope, and honestly, I felt good. Not look at me good, just comfortable in my skin. My friends, Maya and Jade, flanked me as we wove through the crowd, our laughter bouncing off the gym walls, the kind that comes easy when you know you've got your people. But you know how it is, there's always one person who wants to make every room about them. For us, that was Logan Price. The guy who's loud just for the sake of it, who tells jokes that aren't really jokes, just warnings, play along, or you're next. He'd had it out for me since that day in English when I called him out in front of everyone. He was used to being the main character, and he hated that I didn't give him the reaction he wanted. Maybe I just made it too easy for him by ignoring his little digs all year. But looking back, I see now that quiet strength can be like a mirror. Some people can't stand what it reflects. Prom should have been the end of all that, right? But that's not how these stories go. This year, instead of the usual king and queen, our school tried to be progressive prom royalty, voted by the senior class. No gender rules, just two people who best represented the spirit of the year. And for some reason, maybe because the world felt upside down, or maybe just because I'd spent 4 years showing up as myself, my name got called. Me, Leah Brooks. Albie really thought they'd made a mistake. But Maya and Jade were screaming, hugging me like I just won an Oscar, and suddenly there I was, standing in front of everybody with a sparkly silver crown slipping sideways on my head and a bouquet of roses that felt a little too heavy in my hands. The DJ cranked up that pop song everyone was already sick of, and for a split second, I actually felt, well, not special exactly, but seen. Like I belonged, you know? And then I saw Logan at the edge of the room, arms folded, mouth twisted up. The guy who used to win everything suddenly watching from the sidelines. And I should have known when people like him feel small, they get mean. It's almost a law of nature. As I stepped down from the stage, trying to spot my friends, I felt someone moving toward me. Logan's got that kind of presence loud, even when he's quiet. He reached out a hand, plastered on his fake smile. For a second, I thought maybe he'd grown up, maybe he was going to let it go. Yeah, right? In front of everyone, he shoved me. Not a little nudge, not a joke, both hands right in the chest, hard enough that my heels scraped across the floor and my bouquet almost went flying. For a moment, I was weightless, like time just paused. You ever feel a room hold its breath? That's what happened. Music kept playing, but nobody moved. A couple girls gasped. Teachers just stood there, frozen, not sure if they'd really seen what they thought they saw. And Logan just laughed ugly, triumphant. Relax, it's just a joke, he said, but nobody believed it. I could feel everyone watching, waiting for me to cry, or run, or maybe even yell. But I don't know, something in me clicked. I wasn't going to give him what he wanted. I stepped forward, slow, deliberate, and let the bouquet drop to the floor. The crown slipped even lower, but I didn't fix it. I looked him straight in the eyes. And try that again, I said, voice steady. That's when everything changed. People started whispering, but I only saw him. He tried to laugh it off, but it didn't land. Then, without thinking, I yanked the crown off my head and tossed it at his feet. You want it so bad? I told him. Take it. He froze. That confidence he wore like armor just fell away. For once, he looked like the scared kid he probably was underneath it all. I turned and walked right out of the gym. Maya and Jade hustled after me, threading through the stunned crowd. Outside, I breathed in the cold night air, heart thumping. My friends caught up, peppering me with questions. Was I okay? Did I realize what I'd just done? Honestly, I was still figuring it out myself. But one thing was clear, I wasn't going to be another name on Logan's list of easy targets. Inside, the vibe had shifted. Logan's crew kept their distance. Even the teachers found their spines. Coach Adams told him to leave, and for once, no one stuck up for him. He tried to save face, but left alone, muttering about how people were too sensitive. No one followed him. Nobody called his name. But the story didn't end when I walked out. That night, my phone started buzzing DMs from people I barely knew, some backing me up, some twisting what happened, saying I was overreacting, playing the victim. It stung, but I'd expected it. That's what happens when you stand up. People either root for you or come for you. Then, just after noon, I got a message from Logan. Hey, can we talk? Yeah, that happened. I just stared at it, feeling nothing. Then another, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Then a third, longer, about how he was used to being the favorite, about messing up, about how none of it was about me. You didn't deserve that. No one does. I know it's late, but I mean it. I didn't answer. Didn't delete it, either. Just let it sit, like a pebble in my shoe. The next day, the principal posted a statement about courage, about zero tolerance for harassment, about every student deserving to feel safe. It didn't erase what happened, but it mattered. Monday at school, I wasn't invisible anymore. People looked at me differently. Even the quiet kids, the ones who never spoke, nodded my way. In English, Mr. Coing used the first 5 minutes to talk about the power of words and calm resistance. Nobody said my name, but everyone knew. At lunch, something even stranger happened. There's a seat saved for me, not just by my friends, but by kids who'd never sat with me before, kids from different groups. Like a quiet invitation, you belong here, too. Did I become famous? Go viral? Not even close. But in that little town for those few days, I saw what it meant to change the room just by refusing to shrink. Because sometimes courage isn't loud. Sometimes it's a girl in heels, standing tall after a shove, who makes her stand with a calm voice and an unshakable stare. And sometimes the biggest twist is realizing you don't need a crown to know your worth. So, here's my question. What would you have done, standing in my shoes that night? Would you have fought back or walked away? Does dignity really win in the end, or is that just something we tell ourselves to sleep better at night? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me your truth, because these story source theory, the ones that matter most. If you've ever felt invisible, pushed aside, or doubted your place, remember, your story matters. And sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one who changes everything.